Hello everyone, welcome to the Imprint Explained. And today we look at a topic which has shocked the conscience of normal people these days. So what has happened is that Tamil Nadu police has done a very brutal act, and it seems to be the Nirbhaya case of the South. Uh, what's being claimed is that two people were actually raped by the police. What's the background behind this is the fact that the Tamil Nadu police is notorious for its high-handedness and third-degree torture methods. And remember, Rahul Gandhi himself came out and he talked about the police brutality as being a terrible crime, and it is a tragedy when our protectors turn into oppressors. Rahul Gandhi says, "I appeal for justice for Jeyaraj and Fenix." So let's talk about that now. What is the story which has caused so much outrage? So what happened? There was a death of the father and son due to alleged custodial torture in Sathankulam town. This is near Thoothukudi. And Thoothukudi is famous for the Vedanta case, where the factory was polluting the water supplies of the people, and people had to come out, and there was shooting done by the police. So if you look at it, Tamil Nadu police has not done something which I would say that anybody would talk in their favor. So the Tamil Nadu Traders Association shut down shutters across the state on Wednesday in protest. And the victim also belonged to another community, a socially and politically powerful community in southern Tamil Nadu. What happened was after that was that Madras High Court ordered an inquiry, and the state chief minister announced compensation for the family and suspended the local policeman. So this is what happened. Chief Minister K. Palaniswamy, right, showed legal action as per the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, and action based on the ministerial probe into the custodial death of the father-son duo in Tuticorin district. Now, look at how Ritesh Deshmukh, Radip Sardesai, Shikhar Dhawan, Malvika Mohanan, they all are talking about this case. Now, that tells you when the public celebrities are talking about this is shocking. Why? Because of what exactly happened, the police barbarity, how brutality they were, how barbaric they were. So extremely sad. Now, what exactly happened? So P. Jeyaraj works at a mobile shop in Santakulam town. He was taken into custody. Why? Because he made some critical remarks against the police patrol on 18th of June for insisting shopkeepers shut shops early for lockdown rules. Now, an auto driver had informed the police about the remarks. So I think this auto driver has to be beaten up as well, maybe. And then police team had to come next day to take him to custody. What happened was Jaya was taken to custody. His son Bennix followed the police team to the station, and at the Santakulam police station, senior police officer said Bennix saw his father being physically harassed by an officer. Agitated Bennix questioned the officer, tried to stop the officer, pushed him to protect his father in his 60s. So it provoked the police team, and they thrashed both father and sons for hours. There were two sub-inspectors and two constables in the torture team. A total of 13 police officers were there at the station during the incidents, including the volunteers part of Friends of Police. So I think all of them, a case has to be filed against all of them, and all of them needs to be suspended, not just the torture team. The alleged lockdown violation charge on Jeyaraj was something that would have got him a maximum 3 months. So, he was killed for, maximum 3 months imprisonment, the charge. So what happened the next day? June 20th, Jeyaraj family who waited outside the police station midnight got to see father and son in the morning. They were in bad shape. They were taken to the hospital. Jeyaraj, Vishti and Phoenix pants were fully soaked in blood. They had to keep changing lungis. The policeman even asked the family to bring, dark colored lungis. After 3 hours in the hospital, they were then taken to the Sathankulam Magistrate Court. Now, Joseph Jeyaraj's brother-in-law, who witnessed the scene, said that the magistrate waved his hand from the first floor of the building as the police team stood outside. Both were taken to remand at the Kovalpatti substation. Now, this is a miscarriage of justice, right? The magistrate should have actually seen the state of these people, and he should have definitely sent them to the hospital at least. Now, what happened was that family had no news in June 22nd evening. They were shifted to the nearby government hospital, and due to external bleeding, internal injuries from due to lack of torture, Bennix died late evening on 22nd June, and Jeyaraj died at the BRs on 23rd June. Now, this kind of tells you that even this magistrate is culpable, and I feel a charge should be placed against him for misconduct as well. Right. Now, what action has been taken? Even as the two FIRs have been filed, no officer has been booked for murder. And so this is what is needs to be done. They need to be booked. I think the whole police station has to be booked and be suspended. Only 4 people have been suspended, right? So this is not correct. The station inspector has been transferred. A judicial inquiry is in progress. Post-mortem has been submitted to the Madras High Court in a sealed cover. The court is waiting for a report from the police. Now, the compensation has been announced, 20 lakhs, right, for the victim from the state government. DMK's Thoothukudi MP Kannai Mosi, she did, declared a compensation of 25 lakhs from the family. Now, what happened was, I think, in some ways, very, very sad, right? But you look at it, the ancestors were bleeding. It seems as if they were, the sticks were used to actually do a nirbhaya to both these people. Now, the question is there a communal angle? So, Jeyaraj family belongs to another community. Multiple accounts show that the case has no direct communal angle, but was a case of brutal revenge. First for Jeyaraj's alleged remarks to the police patrol team, and then for Bennix's alleged attempt to physically stop and push away an officer who was bleeding in his father. Now, historically, the Tamil Nadu police is notorious for this high-handedness and third-degree torture. Now, this tells you that something needs to be done. The colonial legacy of police needs to go away. Either, I think something similar will happen like in the British era, right? That people will start killing police officers, and that will become a norm. Or I would say that, like what has happened in the Black Lives Matters protests across USA, that police was made defunct in various places. So in Chennai city, it is a normalized practice for police sources to release photos of the accused in police custody with fractured arms and legs. So slippery toilets were cited. Now this tells you that the magistrate, obviously has to not listen to the police. Now it is high time that the magistrates are told by the High Court that if something like this happens, this will not be accepted. The police also needs to be told. Moreover, it is in many states, high handful of senior most officers at top level endorses such extrajudicial practices and private talk for their flawed understanding about criminals and their origins. Now, the question is obviously, did the judiciary fail? Our personal opinion is yes, maybe it did. But let's have a look at K. Chandru. He's a retired judge of the Madras High Court. He said that the latest lockdown scenario had shifted full powers to the police and bureaucracy. And that when the High Court itself, talks about the pandemic being equal to emergency, and that officials must be given due weight of the situation, it sends a wrong signal to the magistrate. There are numerous instances where they deviate from protecting the constitutional rights of citizens. Therefore, we should definitely make sure that all the people, all the police station is punished. The judicial magistrate should be dismissed for impropriety and misconduct, said the former Chief Justice, right, K. Chandru. And he added that it was his job to check the injuries and bleeding, and he could have raised questions to police and accused instead of remanding them with an order saying no complaints. Now, with this, thank you for listening. I think I would suggest all of you to tweet with the hashtag justice for Jeyeraj and Bennix. Please, everyone, let's make sure that this becomes a way to actually do police reforms across in India. Thank you so much for listening.